friends! Welcome to a new Happy Learning video. Have you ever wondered what it is like to live in the ages of castles, princesses, and knights? Really? Well, today we're going to experience it with this video about fun facts of the Middle Ages. Imagine you wake up one morning in a medieval castle in the middle of the medieval ages. That is to say, between the 5th and the 15th century. Do you know where you would brush your teeth and where you would relieve yourself? The truth is that you couldn't do it in the castle because there were no toilets. To wash, you would have to go to the nearest river. But the inhabitants of the Middle Ages believed that the water transmitted diseases, so they didn't wash much. They were quite dirty, and of course, they smelled. They smelled really bad.
Blech.
So they invented colognes and perfumes to disguise that bad smell a little bit. Phew, can you imagine? But the lack of hygiene brought them other problems. For example, lice. As they had no lotion or anti-lice shampoos, they invented wigs. So the little bugs were no longer visible, but they were still there. They were very clever, but a bit dirty, weren't they? Life for peasants and artisans was very difficult. They lived in the lands of the nobles, in houses made of mud or wood, with only one room that served as a living room, kitchen, and bedroom. They used straws for bed and spread it all over the floor. There, they would accommodate the whole family and often the animals as well. They were a bit cramped, yes, but at least they were warm. Since there was no electrical light, the day started very early with a sunrise and ending at dusk. Candles was a luxury item that very few could afford. Did you know that children in the Middle Ages did not go to school? Of course they didn't, because there weren't any schools. Most children did not know how to read or write, but they did know how to farm, harvest, spin, make crafts, and even make swords. And did you know why? Because from an early age, they learnt the trade from their parents, and they also helped them with all the housework. Although, I do think that you do that at home too, don't you? Speaking of swords, if you would have been the son of a nobleman, you would have been a knight. You would learn how to handle swords, spears, to ride horses, and also art of falconry, which is hunting with falcons. How cool! To become a knight, you had to show courage and loyalty by fighting in the service of the king. They did not fight against giants, nor did they rescue princesses from dragons. Those are just legends. But it is true they lived many adventures. What was awful was that when they were wounded in battle, there was no medicine to ease the pain, no antibiotics to cure infections. Hospitals had not even been invented. Women in the Middle Ages were also very brave, and although history doesn't talk much about them, don't think that they stayed at home all day waiting for Prince Charming to appear. Absolutely not. Women worked very hard, as hard, if not harder than men, and despite not having the right for education, some managed to stand out as writers, musicians, doctors, and warriors too. Did you ever realize that life in the Middle Ages was so difficult? Fortunately, things have changed. Now we all have the right to study and progress in life. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, girl or boy, tall or short. If you work hard, you can become anything you set your mind to. At Happy Learning, we love adventures, and we know learning is the greatest adventure of all. Goodbye, friends!